Nelson Mandela Solutions Part 3. 25. What spectacular show was displayed by the South African jets, helicopters and the troop carriers on this important ceremony? Ans, the South African jets, helicopters and troop carriers made a perfect formation, an impressive display of pinpoint precision and military force. 26. What did the military generals do? Ans, the military general demonstrated their loyalty to democracy of the new government. 27. How had the military general's attitude changed and why? Ans, the military general's attitude has changed because it was a democratic country government and Nelson Mandela was the president of the South African National Congress. 28. State the two national anthems. Ans, the two national anthems were Nkosi Sikelel Afrika of the whites and Die Stem of the blacks. 29. How was Mandela overwhelmed with a sense of history? Ans, Nelson Mandela was overwhelmed with a sense of history on the day of inauguration. He remembered the past years of South Africa and compared it with the new system of government that had been recently installed. 30. What did Mandela think of the patriots of Africa himself? Ans, Mandela said that he was simply the sum of all those African patriots who have gone before him. They had sacrificed their lives in the struggle for freedom of South Africa but were unable to see the outcome of their sacrifice. 31. How did the policy of apartheid affect his country? Ans, the policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wound in South Africa and its people. 32. What is the view of Mandela about the wealth of the country? Ans, Mandela says that his country is rich in minerals and gems that lay beneath its soil, but he has always known that its greatest wealth is its people, who are finer and truer than the purest diamond. 33. What should people learn so that they can be taught to love? Ans, people should learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love because love comes more naturally to human beings. 34. How does Mandela look at his own people? Ans, Mandela looked at his own people who had been obstructed from getting them freed, which they were supposed to get in a lawful life. 35. What problem hinder each man to fulfill these twin obligations in South Africa? Ans, in South Africa a man of color who tried to fulfill these twin obligations was ripped his family and his home and was forced to live a life apart like a twilight existence of secrecy and rebellion. 36. What problem was faced by Mandela in the beginning in placing his people above his family? Ans, when Mandela attempted to serve his people or tried to place his people above his family, he found that he was prevented from fulfilling his obligation as a son, a brother, a father and a husband. 37. What did Mandela yearn for as a young man? Ans, as a young man in Johannesburg, Mandela yearned for a basic and honorable freedom of achieving his potential, of earning his living, of marrying and having a family. 38. What did Mandela perceive about his brothers and sisters? Ans, Mandela perceived that not only he was not free, but even his brothers and sisters were not free. He saw that it was not only just his freedom that was curtailed, but the freedom of everyone who wanted freedom like Mandela. 39. What changed Mandela as a young man into a bold one? Ans, Mandela's desire for the freedom of his people and to lead a life of dignity and self-respect transformed him from a frightened young man into a bold one. 40. What is said by Mandela of the oppressor and the oppressed? Ans, Mandela said that the oppressor must be free just as the oppressed because a man who takes away another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. Such man is locked behind the bars of prejudice and narrow-mindedness, and the oppressor are alike of their humanity.